But that's usually what happens, isn't it? When two people cannot stand each other at first sight, when they get to know each other, they actually realize that they have a lot in common and they start liking each other.
I'm gonna make him an offer again with you.
I drink your milkshake.
Why so serious?
I am your father.
You talking to me?
Say what again?
Are you not entertained?
What's up, guys? It's Thursday and you know what that means. It's time for the special event. In case you guys do not know what a special event is, during a month I watch one movie per week. That's 4 movies overall, but in case of April it's 5. And all of these movies have something in common. And this month I'm looking at movies that you guys cannot stop rewatching. Let's get down to business. By the by, I'm the movie guy and this is my review for Pride and Prejudice. We are introduced to the Bennet family, which consists of 6 girls and 1 man. And what these girls lack in money, they more than make up for it in beauty. So much so that the eldest one, Jane, manages to enchant a Mr. Bingley. He is a very wealthy man. They meet at a ball one night and it seems like their mother is trying even harder than Jane to marry those two. But we know that Jane is not the protagonist of this film. It's actually Elizabeth, the second oldest sister, who manages to meet someone interesting at that ball as well, a one Mr. Darcy. And at first sight they'd hate each other, mostly because Mr. Darcy says something not flattering about Elizabeth. But that's usually what happens, isn't it? When two people cannot stand each other at first sight, when they get to know each other, they actually realize that they have a lot in common and they start liking each other. Another obstacle that these two have to face is their difference in rank. This is a drama film. We see the tribulation of the Bennet girls as they try to find husbands to marry. This is also a romance film, of course. We get to see the romance of Jane and Mr. Bingley, but not a lot of that. We get to see more of Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy, and this is also a period piece because this movie takes place in the 1700s. The cinematography in this film is absolutely stunning. We get to see some beautiful landscape shots. The costume design is amazing as well. The buildings, the castles in which the nobility lives. And it's actually at one of these castles where my favorite scene happens. There is a scene at a ball in Netherfield which is absolutely stunning. The camera catches the entire Bennet family in what seems like just one take. We get to see the mother talking about how the marriage between Jane and Mr. Bingley is almost imminent. We get to see Mary playing the piano and people laughing at her song. We see Elizabeth running from one of her suitors. It's an amazing scene that is very well shot. One of this movie's greatest strengths is that it makes us wait. We know that Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy are going to fall in love. It's in the trailer. But the journey to get there is more important, and this movie understands that. Every time these two get close, the movie tugs on the leash and these two separate. They have an argument, or Elizabeth learns something about Mr. Darcy that she does not like about him. It's wonderful, and the journey to this conclusion makes the ending so much more special. Also, a romance film without 2 great protagonists is nothing in the end. And this movie has 2 really good protagonists. Elizabeth is a very outspoken character. She is brave. She's not shy to tell what is on her mind. She might not be the prettiest. She might not know how to play the piano. She might not know how to draw, but she is very brash and has some really interesting opinions on the world. Whereas Mr. Darcy is more of an enigma, and at the beginning we do tend to kind of hate him because he's very arrogant, and then we kind of start to turn around because we learn that he's actually a good guy. We get to learn more about him as Elizabeth learns more about him. The protagonist of this film, Elizabeth, is played by Kiera Knightley, and she turns in a star-turning performance. She is really good. I most like when she shows knives with her eyes at people, especially at Mr. Darcy. It's one of the best things in the film. And Mr. Darcy is played by McFadyen, and this guy is really good. He can bring the arrogant Mr. Darcy to life and the emotional Mr. Darcy to life, and that's something really special. Davy Sutherland also plays in this film. He plays an uncharacteristic good guy, but it's a characteristic performance for him, which means that he's actually really good. In the end, this is a masterpiece. We care about the 2 characters, which makes the ending so much more interesting. The supporting characters also bring this movie to life. The cinematography is stunning. The costume designs are really good. So much attention has been paid to everything in this film, and it shows. So my recommendation is definitely give this movie a watch with a rating of, again, 5 stars. My alternative pick is Sense and Sensibilities, a movie that is also made from a Jane Austen novel. It's about 2 girls who have to marry after the death of their father because they are left without any money after his passing. Don't forget, guys, to drop a like and a comment, subscribe to my channel, make the movie guy happy. As long as there is at least 1 new subscribers, you guys get 3 alternative picks for each film. And until we meet again, keep on watching movies.